Are you an empath and you don't know how to stop absorbing other people's energies? This video is gonna be a guide for the empaths. An empath is someone who is highly sensitive to the emotions and energies of others. Empaths often have an extraordinary ability to sense and feel the emotional experience of people around them, often to the point where they might physically or emotionally absorb these feelings as if they were their own. This sensitivity can extend beyond just emotions to include an awareness of the general atmosphere in a room, the emotional state of animals, or even the emotional energy associated with places or objects. Empaths usually possess strong intuition and may struggle with being overwhelmed in crowded or emotionally charged environments due to their heightened awareness. Empaths are naturally compassionate and empathetic, often feeling a strong desire to help others. Namaste everyone, I am Pavan and welcome back to another video. So if you are an empath, you must have faced this problem of absorbing other people's energies. So the first message I have for you today that can help you in dealing with that is to start observing instead of absorbing. The thing is that the empathy that we have within us as an empath, it instantly takes away the gap between you and the other person. Let's say that the other person is the object and you are the subject. Now your subjective awareness, the self-awareness and the awareness of others, there is no gap between it, there is no distance, because there is immense oneness, and it is not a bad thing. Actually, it is a good thing for this world. The world needs more of that. Because we are in so much survival, we are taught to be self-centric, and because of which collectively the humanity is living in a narcissistic bubble. That narcissistic bubble is about just surviving and living in a rat race, not caring at all about others, even if it requires you to step on others to reach higher, taking advantage of them, using them. All these things are normalized in the world that we live in because of the self-centric behavior, not caring about others, no oneness, no compassion. But the problem is that you don't have any distance. You need to know what's yours and what's others. This is why observing is a really powerful tool. And the thing about observing is that when you observe something, it takes you to a higher consciousness. You're not limited to the physical self anymore. You're connected to your higher consciousness. And that's what happens in deep meditation. When you're meditating, you're just observing, you are being watchful, and that is the quality of consciousness. Consciousness is something in which you are watching, you're observing, things are coming and going, your thoughts are passing by, you are just observing them. You are not saying that I am identified with it. So when you are absorbing energies, the problem is you are deeply identified with other people's emotions, their stories, their narratives, whatever they are telling you. You instantly become identified with it, and then it becomes yours. And maybe the other persons feel lighter, but you become heavy. So this is why it's really crucial that you observe. Not everything is yours to carry. This is also important. Just because you feel the oneness, you can help others. It doesn't mean you can help the narcissist. You can help the people who are there to take advantage, who don't care about other people. It's important to identify who is on the right frequency, who needs your help, who aligns with you, and then move forward. You can't just go around and help everyone. Once I saw a great picture that there was a lion in a cage, and the rabbit helped the lion get out of the cage. But the first thing that the lion did was eat the rabbit. So this is why you need to be wise. You need to use your discernment that who are you helping? Do they have the best interest for you, or they are just waiting? Because some people's behavior becomes like a predator. They don't know how to be otherwise. They don't know anything outside of that. So a really great way to start observing is to bring your awareness to the breath. That's why in meditation, breathing is used. Because when you are breathing, you're becoming watchful. You're watching something that is always there. It's coming in, it's going out. So when you inhale and you exhale, you're watching the breath. You become meditative, and at the same time, you are extremely watchful. You create a distance between you and the breath. The breath is one with you, but you are able to create the distance. Similarly, if you are becoming watchful of your breath, suddenly you will see that you are observing everything, every object outside of yourself with distance. You are the subject, everything outside of you is an object, and you are able to see the distance. And the distance is the key. If you want to stop absorbing, the distance is the key. So observe, don't absorb. Any type of meditation that helps you, it can be breath work, it can be walking, anything that you do, if you are able to watch it as a separate thing, that I am watching it happen, anything can become meditative. Anything can help you to tap into that observer consciousness. And that consciousness is something which is beyond the ego, beyond your physical self. You can also call that it is something which is very close to your higher self. So consciousness helps you to go beyond this absorbing energy, and you're clearly seeing that's what's mine and what's theirs. So naturally, automatically, you stop absorbing it. There is a shield, an energetic shield that is instantly created when you are conscious of your subjectivity, that I am the subject, I am not that person's energy. The next message I have for you is don't be nice, be authentic. A lot of times the people who are empaths, they have a huge people pleasing program. They have a problem with speaking their truth. They avoid conflict. They never speak up. And that leads to a problem. For example, if you're hanging out with someone and someone is just projecting all their stuff onto you, and because you think it's not wise to talk or say anything, it might lead to conflict, you just keep absorbing it. Now there's a problem. Because when you are not speaking your truth, problem is you become like a sponge. And everything that other person is saying, it is a frequency. The sound, the words, they carry energy, they are frequency. And if you are not speaking up, you are not standing your ground. You are not deflecting that frequency. You are absorbing it. So whenever someone says anything to you, projecting anything to you, it's important that you speak out. You say something. If you don't agree with something, say it, that I don't agree with it. I'm not like this. I don't like that. If you don't say anything, you are not being authentic. You are just being a people pleaser. You're pleasing others. This is a huge problem. Don't be too nice. We have related kindness to niceness, and that is a problem. You can be kind authentically. You can be authentic. You can say that I disagree with that, but I respect your opinion, but I disagree with you. I am not absorbing that stuff. So the less you absorb, the more powerful you become. And the more you speak, the throat chakra, when it clears up, you're able to say no. You're able to say I disagree. You're able to go into conflict without any fear. And a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, can come up to the surface. You will see that maybe you were never allowed to speak up when you were a child. You were never allowed to raise your voice or have your opinions. It's okay. That's how you heal, when you accept that it is there. So learn to speak up for yourself. It doesn't matter how small that thing is. If it is a small argument, don't think that why am I unnecessarily going into it. And there is also a spiritual transcendental perspective, that I am so wise, I have to be silent all the time. I don't have to speak my truth. Don't be like that. Because every energy that you're absorbing, you have to release it in some way or form. If you don't address it, your body will release it. Maybe you will develop ailments because you are absorbing everything. You are not releasing it, you are not processing it. So always be authentic. Speak your authentic self to others. Don't allow others to push you around, to say anything they want. Which brings me to the next message that I have for today, is to create strong boundaries. Your boundary creates your personal frame of energy. It creates your personal shield that no one can get in without your permission. That's your boundary. And a lot of times we don't have any boundary because we are afraid to say no. So for boundaries, you need to say yes to yourself and no to others. And what do I mean by saying yes to yourself? Choose yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself. That I am an empath and my beautiful energy is not for everyone. Not everyone deserves this energy. This energy is powerful. It can activate other people. It can wake other people up. But at the same time, if you are surrounded by wrong people, surrounded by energy vampires, there are people like that who just suck the energy out of you and you get nothing in return. No appreciation, no thanks, nothing, and you are just drained. So it's important that you say no to such people, and you know the people I'm talking about. You know deep in your heart that who is like that. Some of them can be family members. If that's the case, distance yourself as much as possible. I know it sounds really difficult to do, but if you are in the same house, but energetically, like I said, subject and object, energetically you can always do that. That you create a distance, and if possible, empower yourself internally, and start speaking your truth. And as you start doing that, you will notice that those people are not liking you anymore. It can be anyone. The more empowered you become, they will see that you are not fitting in that role of that disempowered person who takes all the stuff all the time, absorbs everything. And now you are speaking up. Now your throat chakra is opening. You are standing for yourself. You're saying, I have boundaries. No one will like that because you're not people pleasing. So when you break out of that role, no one is gonna love you for it. You have to give yourself the validation. You have to give yourself the permission slip for doing all that stuff. No one's gonna like that. So allow yourself to walk on that path of self-expression. Express yourself, express your boundaries, and distance yourself from the people who are really draining, who act like energy vampires for you. You feel drained after meeting them, after spending too much time with them, and not in a good way. You're not receiving anything. You feel like you give everything to them and you don't receive anything in return. And the final message I have for today is to embrace your own company. Whenever you feel that you have socialized and you come back and you feel drained, do the things that give you energy. And that's why understand the power of solitude. And it might come naturally to you if it is something that you are judging yourself for it, that I spend too much time alone, I need to socialize more, I need to be an extrovert. Don't put pressure on yourself. Everyone is different. We are all different. All the people are not supposed to be extrovert. It's okay if you want to be with yourself more than other people. Maybe you have a different purpose. Maybe you have a different soul than them. Maybe you are an old soul. You are different. So we all have a different energy. We all are here for different reasons. We are not here to live life in the same way. So don't judge yourself for that. And if you are going out and you're coming back, you're drained, do the things that give you energy. It can be meditation, reading a book, especially things like taking a bath. Never underestimate that. Water heals you, water cleanses you, water recharges you. So always do the things that help you to gain your energy. Let that energy come back to you. And never judge yourself for your nature. If your natural self is that you like being with yourself, if it's your natural self, don't judge yourself. Don't let other people make you think that there is something wrong if you know yourself. We live in a world where no one knows themselves, where everyone is just trying to fit in, and people keep doing things because they think they will get the validation. They think that they will belong somewhere. But if you know yourself, if you know it comes to you naturally, that's the biggest win in this world. So empathy is not a bad thing. Like I said in the beginning, the world needs more empathy, because when you are empathetic, when you are in that oneness frequency, love energy, you're bringing in a huge shift into the collective consciousness. But at the same time, be aware. I read a quote somewhere that empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. Don't do that to yourself. Allow the right people to tap into your energy. Hold space for them. Help them. Let them have your energy. And you will always receive something in return. Use your discernment. It's important that you understand who you are and help people who are on the same frequency, on the same wavelength as you. Don't go out of the way also. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't destroy yourself in the process. When you love yourself, when you choose yourself, that's when real empathy makes an impact. By sacrificing yourself, you're just repeating the cycle. You're just breaking yourself. So next time you feel that someone is draining you, absorbing energies, learn to distance, observe, don't absorb, and remain in your energetic frame. Remain in yourself, say yes to yourself and no to others. Don't feel guilty for it. You might feel some guilt, but it's okay to address that, but practice it again and again, and the more you practice it, the more you realize your power. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, share. You can also support my work by hitting the thanks button. See you in the next video. Much love to you all.